So it's bad enough that The Witcher Blood Origin is getting completely destroyed in every way imaginable in terms of viewership, in terms of the ratings from not only the actual critics themselves, but the audience as well, obviously, is destroying the show. The ironic thing is that the audience score is slightly going up with the show, but I think it's being reverse review bombed because people are using this show as kind of like an ideology battle. So if they see that their favorite ideology is being destroyed, publicly, then they're going to do everything they can to try to reverse that. And I think that's what's happening with The Witcher Blood Origin. But the funny thing is, The Witcher can't seem to get away from negative headlines because even now, with all the press going on about the audience score and about the critic score being not so great, all of a sudden now The Witcher Blood Origin from Netflix is being criticized for using apparently stolen artwork. So this is a thing now. Apparently Netflix stole artwork and used it without the permission of the artist. So let's get into today's article, guys. This one comes from some good old CBR.com, and it says The Witcher Blood Origin criticized for using stolen artwork and has garnered even more criticism, this time for seemingly using artist Sean Coss's work without his permission. Now, this is something that's not new to Netflix and not new to studios overall. This is something that they do. They hope that they can utilize cheap assets where they don't have to pay for anything in the hopes that nobody will complain or nobody will find out. And then when someone does find out, they'll usually try to silence them by paying them under the rug, because at the end of the day, it's cheaper to pay someone silence than it is to actually create something new and pay artists on a team for Netflix to create something new for the show. It's just much cheaper that way. And on the off chance that the person doesn't catch it, then it gets through and nobody cares. So it says, on top of the wave of criticism The Witcher Blood Origin has already received following its release, the Netflix show has garnered new backlash for evidently using a collection of artwork without permission from the artists themselves. I'm not shocked. Illustrator and artist Sean Coss shared on social media that Blood Origin has included a variety of monster drawings in the background of one of its scenes, seemingly taken from his work. Audiences noted that similarities are calling for Netflix to rectify the issue. Now, this is the original tweet here from Sean Coss, okay? If you guys can see the pictures, this is what was shown in the actual show. I remember this because I unfortunately had to watch the entire show, which, by the way, I am doing my first ever full-on review series of this show. I released part 1. If you guys missed it, which you probably did, go check it out on the channel. It's different style content, so it's not going to get recommended to you as much as my normal stuff, but please go check it out. Give it a long view duration, so hopefully YouTube will stop being stupid with me. But this is the initial tweet here, and these are the monster drawings that are being talked about. Now, there's 2 in particular that are being mentioned. It's this one over here with the shadowy figure, and this one over here with a Baphomet style figure, right? So if you look closely, they do a comparison between the two, and this is what was in the show, and this is his actual drawing. And then over here, this is what was in the show, this is his actual drawing. And actually, it looks like there's a third one. This is the actual show, and this is his actual drawing. Now, I can't really see too much of the third one, but these two are almost, I mean, it's blatant at this point. I really, then again, when it comes to a style like this with Baphomet, it's very, I would say popular. You can find these pretty easily, but they are basically almost identical. Now, this one over here, this is like, I mean, this is uncanny. Like, you cannot deny the similarities between these two. And I'm sure Netflix is going to do his best to try to deny it. But at the end of the day, man, these are blatant, stolen artwork. So it says, apparently the new Witcher Netflix series has my artwork in it without my permission, he posts. And then it says, boo Netflix, pay the man and apologize. So now, the article says the Netflix series is already facing heavy criticism from both critics and viewers for what many have described as lackluster characters, which is true, an underwhelming plot, which is also true, and the quality of its writing, which is 100% true. This follows several months of substantial backlash from audiences criticizing the main series from deviating from Andrzej Sapkowski's novels and the lore established in the Witcher books. Netflix The Witcher Blood Origin has similarly been criticized for deviating from established lore and focusing on elements created specifically for the series, such as the monoliths. Now, with that being said, it is very apparent that with Henry Cavill leaving, it's clear Netflix is not going to create anything that's remotely close to the source material. They want to treat this show as their playground, and they want to do what they're going to do with the show no matter what. And they are removing Cavill from it because they know there's no way in hell that their lead actor, who plays Geralt of Rivia, is going to basically kneel before them and do whatever he's told, because Henry Cavill is not that kind of actor. If he is passionate about a project, which with The Witcher he is going to make sure that he tries to influence the show as much as he possibly can to try to stay true to the source material. And if it doesn't happen and it starts to deviate too much, he tends to get fed up and leaves the show. And it's unfortunate because he was a great Geralt of Rivia and he really was trying to make this happen, but Netflix is also trying to make their own ideology happen. And when you have two entities clashing like this, then it's only a matter of time before the actor leaves because he's not the studio at the end of the day. So it says the backlash has been partly fueled by actor Henry Cavill's exit from the main series. Cavill was known amongst the fans as a passionate and enthusiastic fan of both the novels and CD Projekt Red's video games. His departure as Geralt of Rivia led to speculation that he disagreed heavily with the creative direction of the show. The announcement of his exit came shortly after former Witcher writer Biel de Mayo claimed that the writer's room actively disliked and mocked the source material. And I would not be surprised because the source material is very masculine material. If you read through it and read through the stories, you're going to realize it's very brutal. Okay, it's very, very brutal, very masculine, and I can just imagine all the soy boy writers that are in that writer's room basically treating it like toxic masculinity. You cannot have all those writers and all the female writers, I'm sure, the same exact way. You cannot have them in there when they haven't dealt with any sort of real issues in their life, and they're going to look at anything that has to do with Witcher as some sort of toxic masculinity, and they're going to want to write it off and do their own thing. This is what they want to do, especially when it comes to diversity, equity, and inclusion and all that nonsense. So it says, in recent weeks, showrunner Lauren Hisrich has commented on the backlash and on Cavill's exit. While the reasons behind it have not been made public, Hisrich has asserted that there will be a discussion about it closer to the Witcher Season 3's premiere. In addition, she has dismissed de Mayo's claims, assuring that both the members of the writer's room and herself are enthusiastic about the Witcher books and games. I don't believe you. I do not believe Lauren Hisrich. Do not in the slightest. She's just as bad as Kathleen Kennedy. Do not believe her. They love to try to quell the backlash when they know the fans are mad. They love to try to quell the backlash by saying that they love the books, they love the original source material. We promise. We're totally fans, guys. We're totally fans. And they're like winking at you at the same time. You know what I mean? They're not fans in the slightest. Trust me, they hate the material, they hate you, and they want to use what you like to try to expand on their ideology. I promise you. It says, moreover, in teasing the upcoming season, the showrunner also assured that the show will adapt the novels closely. It won't. She previously explained, Season 3 to me is the closest thing that we've done as to a one-on-one adaptation of the books. According to the showrunner, this was possible because Time of a Contempt provided more action scenes and character-defining moments than Blood of Elves was able to provide for Season 2. It's literally impossible. There's no way that you can stay true to the source. Like, I don't understand. I just want to put this out there. I don't understand how these showrunners can look you straight in the eye, or in this case, look to whoever the hell is interviewing them straight in the eye and say, yes, our show is going to be 100% true to the source material, or at least one-on-one. It's the closest to the one-on-one adaptation that we've ever gotten. I don't know how they can say that because Rings of Power said this too. And then these two shows have made dramatic changes to the origins of both stories. It is impossible. You cannot be canonical and you change what made the story in the first place. So with the Rings of Power example, they changed the way the entire Rings of Power were forged in the first place. And in the sequence of which they were forged, the reasons for which they were forged, they changed everything. In the Witcher Blood origin, they changed the entire story as to the origin of the first Witcher. They made it happen before the conjunction of spheres, when in the books, the Witcher happens after the conjunction of spheres. He was basically the answer to the monster problem. And before, now it's just like, how can you? I don't understand how you can say you're going to be a canonical story, but then you change the entire premise of the story. You go all the way to the origin, you fuck it up, and then now you're going to promise canonical stories? It's impossible. There's no way. The only way you could do it is with an entire reboot of the series, which you know you're not going to do. But when it comes to the Witcher origin, I have another video coming out talking about my idea of what they're going to do with the actual story. So we'll get into it in a further video. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you did enjoy, and if you did, consider leaving me a subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. Don't forget to like the video, comment, let me know what you thought of today's story, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Hypnotic out.